We've seen association come to us and just want us to take over everything and just do it all and not be involved in things. And that's not what we're trying to do. We want to make sure that we can build associations, whether that's starting from scratch or taking an existing organization that's been around for years and make it better.
Well, big welcome to everybody to the Recur Effect, our podcast that we do with Recur and talking to associations. We're talking to a good friend of mine, Adam Jones. We go back many years to the Boy Scouts era as scout leaders. That's how I knew Adam, but I didn't know what Adam did back in the day, and come to find out he actually runs associations, and he's got several that he's actually responsible for. And Adam, we'd love to kind of hear about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and the associations that you're managing right now. So I know that's a lot of questions that I'm just throwing right at you. But first and foremost, it's I guess good to have you. So thanks for being here.
And we just
yeah.
I was going to say, first of all, Ryan, thanks for having me on, and it's a pleasure to meet with you and talk with you and share a little bit about what we do with our organization, about our associations. So thank you.
Fantastic. And yeah, you're not like a member of an association, like you're not the president of an association. You actually run them for people. They hire you to run their associations.
Yeah, so just to kind of backtrack a little bit, I actually own what's called an association management company. It's a little bit unique to the Utah area, but it's not necessarily unique to the association world. But when I say we run associations, we do everything that normal staff would do for an association, but instead of the association having to hire employees and deal with everything that comes with having employees, they can contract with us. It's a line item expense for them, and we can bring the services that they need to fit into their budget and what they're trying to accomplish. That's the real simple answer to what we do, but there's obviously a lot more to that when you start talking about running associations, for sure.
Fantastic. And what if I'm running an association, why would I want you to run it for me? Like what's the value proposition here? Because it seems like to me, associations are pretty simple. And maybe I'm just kind of saying that tongue in cheek.
Yeah, they actually are fairly simple, but it just depends upon how extravagant and how you want to push your association along, and how new areas that you want to approach and new things that you want to do. Most associations in the state of Utah, where obviously I'm from and where we're located at, is most associations, large percentage have budgets of less than $100,000 a year. So when you talk about a budget of $100,000 or less a year, which many are even far less than half of that or less, it becomes hard for them to do all of these things to make them look like a professional organization if they're just simply volunteer led, or they only have maybe a part-time person. And they typically get to the point where they can only do so much with the resources that they have. And a lot of them just don't know where to go next. And that's where we can come into play. We have staff and resources available where we can basically share those resources amongst other associations and fit it within the budget of the association. So it's not just your small budget. I mean, you have your small budget and you got to stay within that budget, but because we have resources and personnel that are already expertises in those areas, it brings on those resources that we can then help the association move to that next level and what we call become remarkable. And that's really what we focus on, is trying to help associations become remarkable. And remarkable for every association is a little bit different on what they're trying to accomplish. And that's really comes down to whatever their own strategic plan is and what they're trying to accomplish.
Fantastic. And not only do you help make these associations remarkable, but you advocate for them at Capitol Hill. Like part of your job is to ensure that the state is passing laws that are favorable for your associations, and you lobby hard for those associations. Is that right?
That's right. So when it comes to managing the association, it's all the day-to-day affairs of the association. So everything from membership, recruitment, and management, the financials, but more importantly, for most associations, the reason they're created is for legislative representation or advocacy. And so we have a team that goes to the Capitol. I spend a lot of my time in government relations meetings talking with either legislators, city government, state government, whether that's from tax commission, licensing, whatever it is for the different industries and professions that we deal with. So we spend a lot of time at the Capitol and other areas to just advocate for the industry or profession.
That's fantastic. And as far as you're concerned, I mean, I would consider you to be kind of an association expert. What do you see as the biggest maybe issues or problems that most associations are trying to overcome? What is it that you see that most of them run into?
Yeah, I would say the biggest one for most associations is the communication side of things, making sure that they can communicate their message to their members. That's probably number one that is most notable from the outside for the member themselves. It is important to make sure that they take care of. Obviously, the internal side of things is how things are run and the efficiency of things. When you're dealing on the inside with things such as membership databases and things like that, for a lot of small associations, it's simply Excel spreadsheets and their local mail program, a calendar program. So it's nothing fancy. And for them to kind of get to the next area, they need a product similar to like what you guys offer with Recur. And those type of things really help associations, whether it's me as an association management company or somebody that's an employee of an association or a volunteer led of an association. It helps them kind of take their organization to the next level with the integration of databases and communication and everything put together, the finances, event management, all of those are part of associations.
Wow. And how many associations are you currently managing right now?
We have 4 different associations that are full-time management, meaning we do everything for them. We work with other associations where we do pieces of things for them, where we may manage just an event for them, or we may manage just finances for them, things like that. And we do everything from the automotive side to healthcare arena as well too. So
it seems like you're pretty flexible in how you could help and work with associations. It sounds like maybe the best thing for any association might be just to contact you and say, "Hey, Adam, this is what I'm up against. I run this." I found that associations are everywhere. Like there's an association for everything. But if they came to you and said, "Hey, I've got the neighborhood watch association," I'm just making that up. There might be something like that, but and they like, would you recommend that they contact you and you can sit down and say, "Okay, what is it you're trying to do, and I can help you with that," or is there specific types of associations that you want to focus on, or what would you suggest to all the associations out there that are looking for help?
Right. Yeah. We try to focus around trade associations. So those are typically associations that represent businesses, is where most of them are. That doesn't mean that that's all we do. So let me just give you a couple examples of a couple of our associations. One of those is the RV Dealers Association. So this is the association that represents all the RV guys, the guys that sell travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes. That's an association that represents the businesses at the Capitol. And so we go up to the Capitol and represent that industry and make sure that the laws that are being passed are beneficial, or we try to work towards the things that are going to be beneficial for them. And then on the flip side, maybe a little bit different, is the Pharmacy Association, and our members are made up of individuals in that group. So pharmacists and technicians are who the members are of that organization. So we can go from businesses to individuals as far as members, but the idea is they're mostly typically a trade association, so representing an industry or a profession.
Gotcha. And with my limited experience with associations, it seems like there's a few big things that you're probably responsible for those. Some of those might be their events. And I can imagine like a trade association, like one of those, they probably have pretty big events.
Yeah, we see events all over the place in different sizes, from small little like board meetings. Obviously, those are an event that's typically small and may only incur maybe 3 or 5 people for that event, all the way up to large events. Sometimes an association will even do a public event. So for example, with our RV association, they do a large RV show each year, and that actually helps to fund their association, where we help with that association to put that event on. And the dealers bring their inventory in. It gives them an opportunity to sell, but it also gives them a way to raise money for their association so that they can pay to do all the things that they want to do with their association.
So would they use you? Do they have like a board that they use that works with you, or do they just all the members work with you individually, or how does that association work with you, kind of in the communication back and forth between you and them?
Yeah, good question. And it varies a little bit from association to association, but the general idea is we typically work with a board of directors for each one of those associations. All of our groups have a board of directors. Some go a little bit further and actually have committees as well, where those committees will work on the more of some of the day-to-day pieces of maybe an event or membership or whatever it is that they have going on. And then they can report back to the board of directors. And so we take most of our orders from the board of directors. They're the ones that we're outlined to work with specifically. It doesn't mean we don't have relationships with the members, but that's where we get our marching orders from, is from the board of directors. And us in our organization, because we're not necessarily considered the expert, like in the pharmacy association, we're not pharmacists. We don't pretend to be a pharmacist. We know a lot about pharmacy, but we rely on our board of directors for each of those industries to make sure that the information that is coming from either the Capitol building or other places is the right information. And the more we're involved in those specific industries, the better we are at it, and the more we know about it and know what's happening. And we don't always have to go to the board of directors with everything because we've learned more about that specific industry or profession.
Fantastic. There's always a question that I have. Let's say, so you're running the RV Dealers Association here in the state of Utah. If somebody starts up an RV dealership, why would they want to join the RV Dealerships Association? Like what value does it provide, and is it money well spent?
Yeah. Yeah, each association, whether it's RV or something else, has to have value for them to join the association. If there's no value, then they're not going to join. And the value, obviously, the amount that they're going to pay has to at least equal the value that that they're getting out of it. And so, like with the RV Association, the whole purpose of the RV Association is for legislative representation. That's what their mission is built around. Is that. It's also built around education and making sure that they're updated on the laws that change in regards to the industry each year. And so that's all our focus is on those two things. Now, obviously, we have to do some other things, such as our RV show, to help us be able to accomplish our other goals. So there is still added benefit, like with our RV show. In order for them to participate in the RV show, they also have to be a member of the association as well, too. So there still is some added value, even though that's not the main focus. That would be a good reason why they would join, is one, they get to participate in shows and sell more RVs, but more importantly, the reason for the association is the advocacy to make sure that they're represented and their voice is heard. And we'll have meetings with that group and talk with each of those members at least on a yearly basis, if not more, about what their needs are. We'll talk with them at our events, things like that, to make sure that their voice is being heard. That one's a little bit unique because in the state of Utah, there's only about 30 RV dealers in the whole state. So it's not even a big association or even have the capacity to be big. But
wow.
The members that we have about 75% of them that join the association. So we have about 20 to 25 roughly that join the association. And that represents probably 95% of the sales of RVs in the state of Utah. So we're pretty fortunate to be able to represent that, even with a small association like that.
Wow. So the question is, and maybe this is, I don't know the answer here, but are you looking to grow into new associations? Are you looking to manage other ones? Are you pretty happy? Just, you're completely full with the associations that you're managing right now. What's the goals that you have with your company?
Yeah, so our company, Association Solutions, our goal is obviously to help associations become successful. But we look at it as, we're not going to take on everybody that comes to us. It's got to be the right fit. There's got to be the right amount of willingness to help from their side of things as well, too. We've seen associations come to us and just want us to take over everything and just do it all and not be involved in things. And that's not what we're trying to do. We want to make sure that we can build associations, whether that's starting from scratch or taking an existing organization that's been around for years and make it better. And so nice. We've been pretty fortunate over the years that most of what we've done has all come because of word of mouth. We don't do a lot of active advertising of this is what we do. It becomes because of relationships like I have with you. One of our associations came because of scouting.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's just one of those like where we were sitting down in a meeting talking about what we were doing, and it's like, oh, we do this, and he's like, well, I need that for the association that I'm part of, and it just develops into things like that. And that's how we've run our business. The business has been around for 45 years.
Oh, wow.
My dad started it. I purchased it from him a few years back. Gosh, it's been almost 10 years. But that's how we've developed it. So I've grown up in the business, and it's all word of mouth, and it's about,
So
providing
your
a
dad
good
started
service.
he started it 45 years ago. Did you work for
Yeah.
him growing up doing
I
this?
did. Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I was hanging around associations and going to conventions and things like that all the time when I was a kid. So I guess it's in my blood, if you'd say, in regards to the association world. But yeah, I started working with him when I was about, I guess, 21. I did a little bit before, just right out of high school a little bit, but I really started working full time with him for while I was just going to school. I was around 20, 21 years old. I'll work for him for a little bit, and then I'll go off and do something else. And I never left. And here I am, 25 years later, and thoroughly
Wow.
enjoy it. I was going to go into a whole different area as far as schooling and things like that. And the more I got involved in it, the more I loved it. And I have a chance to have some of my family work in the business as well too. So I'm around them on a regular basis.
Nice.
Most people don't work with their dad for 25, 23, 24, 25 years. And obviously that doesn't work for everybody, but I have a great relationship with my father because of that. We had offices next door to each other for, 25 years. He just recently retired. And so I got to work for him for about 20 years, and he got to work for me for about 5 years. And, it's been a good relationship, and it's helped out from that side of things. And my sister works in the business. My
Really?
sister's husband is, my sister's husband is one of the owners with me as well too. So we've developed into a big family business, and
That's
it's
fantastic.
worked well, and we love it. So yeah.
My business career, I've always stayed away from working with family, but I've changed my tune just recently, probably over the past few years. And I think it's fantastic. I enjoy working with my family. I enjoy being around them. And so I just, hats off to you for doing that. And I'm kind of going down that journey right now, working with my family. And it's fantastic. I really enjoy it as well. So
Great.
that's great. Well, it's been good to get to know you, Adam. And I've been to your office, and you've got a lot going on there. You guys are very busy. I know you're passionate about managing these associations and helping them with all kinds of things. And so, just hats off to you for the work that you're doing and the effort that you bring to play. I mean, I've seen you at the state capitol. I know that you're lobbying. I know you're advocating, and I know that you're doing a great job with these associations. Otherwise, they wouldn't stick with you for so long. So just
Correct.
appreciate the work that you're doing there. And it's been great to partner with you, and we just look forward to working with you more and more. So thanks so much, Adam.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.